Hello, this is Keith, and thanks for joining me today. Today I'm going to touch on a pretty popular feature of Facebook that many of you really might not be leveraging the right way, and that's Facebook groups. Okay, when you handle groups the right way, you can really kind of create almost kind of three different things, right? You're going to have a totally focused audience. You can offer fantastic customer service, as well as you just growing a loyal following, right? And I've seen a few of the bigger marketers out there leverage these Facebook groups in the right way, right? And it's really become very profitable and building a very loyal following. So today I have one of those marketers on with me, Brett Rutecky, and he has a new training software that's going to show you the right way and how to leverage your Facebook groups and keep engagement up in these groups. Okay, so welcome, Brett. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
You bet, you bet. So I took a look through the training. Now, just a quick mention is that it's not really just a training course. Brett also actually has a couple of pieces of software rolled in there to help you guys, with your Facebook group. So I'm going to let him get into that towards the end of this interview here. But for now, let's just jump right in, and I've got a couple of quick questions for you, Brett. Number one being, now, of course, everybody's on Facebook, right? Everybody loves to sit there and waste time on Facebook. What they should be doing is spending their time in a little bit more productive way, right? So lots of folks don't really have, kind of that following, or they're not really sure how to go about getting people to follow them, to want to join a group, to want to engage with them in that kind of private, that private group setting. In the training, how do you kind of go about, handling folks like that?
When I first got into the IM business, I actually joined a bunch of internet marketing groups. And really quickly, I realized two things. First, I realized the power of those groups. And the way I realized the power was every time somebody posted those group, I was getting Facebook notifications. So I'd go to Facebook to post a message to my brother or something who lives out of the area. So we do a lot of communication on Facebook. And I would see one of those notifications. And next thing I know, I'm in this Facebook group. Because that's just how it is. I mean, you go on Facebook for one thing, and the next thing you know, you're on there for 2 hours, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I realized the power of that, especially with those notifications, okay? And I also quickly realized the problem with Facebook groups. If you go to any of these large Facebook groups, and there's groups out there with 16, 17, 20, 25,000 members, especially if they're in the internet marketing space or the make money space, they're almost all advertisements.
Yeah.
You go to those groups and it's just page after page of people, join my launch, join my product, just opt into my thing, blah, 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 blah. So one of the first things that I did with my group is I made one rule, and this is something I teach in the training, but I'll cover it here. I made one rule, and the rule is that everything that gets posted to that group, including things by me, has to benefit the group. So you can't say, here's my launch, because that doesn't benefit the group, right? That's for you. Here's a link to my freebie. Well, you know what? You're not really giving a freebie away. You're trying to build a list that benefits you. So the one rule I have in my group, and that's why people stay in my group, is because the only things that ever make it to the group, to the public, are things that are valuable to everybody. Mm-hmm. That's why I have I have like 7,500 people in my group right now, okay. But which isn't as big as those 30,000 person groups.
Yeah, but still a nice size though. Yeah.
But because only beneficial things get posted to my group, people don't shut off those notifications, because they know if they're getting a notification of Brett's group, it's something that's going to benefit. This is something I want to see. It's not some BS spam, join my squeeze page. It's something they want to see. And because of that, people share my group. People tell their friends about my group. People engage with my group. And that's one of the key things is you got to remember, when you run a group, it's not about you. It's about them and what you can do for them. And once you do that, they reward you then with their loyalty, with their trust, with their business.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I completely agree with you about the notifications and the way that groups are handled. And another thing is I can't tell you how many groups I get automatically added to, and I still can't find the setting in Facebook that tells me that I can tell people to stop doing that. That's completely useless.
That's another thing I do differently in my group. I don't automatically add people, and as a matter of fact, I make my group closed, so people have to request. And this is a good tip for everybody as well. Ask yourself, if there's two clubs, imagine there's two country clubs, right? One is the country club that everybody can go to. You just go in, you pay your $20 and you're a member, right?
Yep.
The other one is the country club where you have to go in, fill out an application, and see if you get approved. Which one's the one you really want to get into?
Right.
It's
Yeah,
that closed
absolutely.
one, right? That secret one.
Yeah, it creates that exclusivity, I mean, and that's a big piece of that, and probably I imagine, that's even part of selling, selling the group, to folks that aren't in it yet, right? Is you have to kind of sell that exclusivity, and like you say, you have to offer. It's not about you; it's about them. I think that's a pretty good, that's a great mantra, really, for this type of training. Is you got to get off of you and posting the, oh, here, I'll give you this free. I just just put your little email address right in there, and we'll all be good. Or here's my next launch. Go ahead and do that, because that really benefits you. Even though the software or whatever you're promoting may be good, but it's still a benefit to you and not so much the group. So you got to get in that mentality of it's not all about you.
Yes, absolutely. The best way to get people to trust you and to, and again, inevitably reward you with their business is to give to them. Give until it hurts.
Yeah.
Because they'll give back.
Absolutely. So what do you think, if I had to ask one thing, if I'm watching this training and I'm going to say, okay, Brett, I get it. I totally agree with you. You're going to show me exactly how to set that group up, make sure that it's not spammy, you keep all that stuff out of it. How do I go about, and again, I don't want to give away everything in the training, but how do you go about that initial attraction? So how do I go out there and say, hey, look, guys, I have this group, especially if you're just starting a group, maybe you have just, a few dozen members to start with. How do you lure is probably a bad name. How do you get them to kind of join that group and share it out?
Well, I can't give too much of the training away in the interview.
I want to know really bad, Brett.
But there are a couple of ways. I actually teach a couple of different methods. Mm-hmm. Every day I go on Facebook and I have 20, 30 people asking me to join my Facebook group. So there are a couple of methods. One of the methods is Facebook ads. And I show people how to do that as well. Facebook ads is a paid way. I do teach free ways as well. But Facebook ads is a great way, because when you run a Facebook ad, you can say, here, get my freebie, join my group. And you can say to them, no opt-in required. Because they don't have to opt in. And what you'll find is it's so much easier to get people to join a Facebook group than it is to get them to give you their email. When somebody goes to a squeeze page and it says enter your email, they're not dumb. This isn't 1995. People know what's going on. I'm going to get emailed offer after offer and offer. So they're thinking to themselves, do I really want this free freaking ebook bad enough to have to put up with the spam that I'm about to get, right? Yeah. Now, when you say no opt-in required, join my Facebook group, what you're doing is you're saying, not only are you saying, like, I don't need your email, I don't need that personal information, but you're saying you get to be a part of this exclusive club.
Absolutely, and that's a really good way too to look at that group. In comparison to the traditional email marketing and building a list, it's a different kind of list, right? I mean, it really is. It's a different sort of list, and these folks really that opt into groups, as long as the content you're providing obviously provides some value. They want to be there. Like you said, they want those notifications to come in. They know it's gonna be value, of value to them. So it's an interesting way, to kind of look at social media list building, I guess to call it.
There's so much that people say about there's so many different ways that you see people advertising or trying to make money on social media, right? So they'll do things like they'll mass post to fan pages and groups, and you see these auto posting tools, and you see these auto broadcasting tools and all these crazy tools that are coming out. But you know what the thing of it is none of those are social, because they're all one way. Social media is social. You're supposed to interact with people. You're supposed to build a relationship with people. I always tell people, who would you buy from? Would you buy from the stranger that walks up to you on the street and says, hey, buy my product? Or would you buy from your good buddy that you have beers with every Friday that says, hey, Brett, I think this is kind of cool. You might want to check it out, right?
Right.
So you got to use social media to be social and to interact with people. Yeah, that's a great way. And the good thing about using ads and giving, say, a freebie away for people that join your group is Facebook groups actually have this section called files, right? So you can actually upload files. So say you want to give away a free ebook, or I give away free WordPress plugins. You put that in the files section of the group. Now you also have a secure way to deliver your freebie only to the people that decide to join your group.
Absolutely. That's actually really good. And also what you're doing, I guess, at that point too, is you're kind of building this repository of resources, right? Of valuable resources for anybody else in the future, right? So you start to kind of build up this group. You get a couple hundred members in there. Well, the next time you want to offer that, that freebie, it's not just one. It's join. I have a repository of free things I want to help you. I want to give you to come, join my group.
Well, yeah, when I run ads every once in a while, and again, like I said, I do teach other methods besides ads. There are free methods, but when we're talking about ads in this one, when I run ads, every once in a while, I'll give a new freebie away because you want to show new things to people. So I'll give a new freebie away. In order to do that, I'll add it to the group. So I add it to the group, and all the existing group members are like, "Oh, Brett, thanks for the awesome freebie you just gave me." So not only am I giving a new thing away to build my group, but I also just got some love, I guess, from the group members,
Yeah, absolutely. It's the group that keeps on giving, right?
Yeah. Which makes them want to interact more, makes them want to be a part of the group more, makes them want to make sure they see my notifications. That's an important thing. You want them to see your notifications. You see these groups, they say 25, 30,000 people on them, and you're like, that's a lot of people. But what you don't realize is 29,999 of those people have that notification option turned off because they're sick of seeing the spam.
Yeah, exactly. And that also prompts the new user to want to share it, right? Say, hey, I got a group you're totally going to be interested in. You have people out there promoting it for you as well,
Yeah, there's people on my group that surprised me. Brian Zimmerman is a member of my group. Brian and EBR, they're both members of my groups. And I asked EBR one time, I'm like, how did you, I think it was EBR, it was one of the guys. I was like, how'd you get into my group? And he's like, well, I had to see what was going on. I heard about it. I had to check it out myself.
And there's the social part of that, right? See, so you heard it from somebody's talking to him.
Yeah. So people, I ended up with a whole bunch of like really top marketers in my group just because that heard about my group and wanted to see what was going on. I think you're in my group.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I'm in so many groups, Brett. I couldn't even tell you. I'm auto invited to so many that I can't stop the madness. So I like to at least try to filter all those out and keep the ones that actually give me something, that there's some sort of value there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I mentioned earlier, not only is there the training course, it's going to show people how to leverage these groups, but you also have a couple pieces of software that is going to help them out as well.
Yeah, now you're going and you're posting to your group, you're building a relationship, you're giving freebies, you're interacting with them, and that's great. That's all well and good, and that's something that people should definitely be doing. But let's be honest, we're marketers. We want to make money. We're not trying to save the whales here. We're also trying to make a living, right? So you use the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time you're giving value, 20% of the time you're saying, hey guys, here's a little pitch to you, right? You do it the soft sell. Check this out, right? So what I started doing when I initially had my group is I was just posting text. So I was posting like, hey guys, here's a link, check this out. I think it's pretty cool. The problem with links is they don't really grab that people's attention that much. They don't really it doesn't stand out. People in your group they'll see your post in their timeline since they're a member of the group, but it doesn't really stand out that much. It doesn't really grab their attention, and a lot of people weren't clicking on them. So what I started doing was I started adding graphics to my posts as well. People like a big graphic, something that grabs their attention. And what I was initially doing was I have a graphics designer that actually works for me, does my sales pages on my products. It's a graphic for me. Mm-hmm. So every time I wanted to do a promotional post, I'd be like, hey, Josh, make this cool graphic that I can post to Facebook. Sure. Now, he's billing me out of $15 an hour. So it was like $30. It'd take him like 2 hours to make it. It'd be like $30 a pop. And, completely honestly, I make enough that I can pay that, right? But who wants to pay it if you don't have to, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like $30 a pop. If I'm doing 5 a month, that's $150 a month. Damn, I could get a new Harley with that.
Yeah.
So what I did was I created a system, a software, because I'm a software developer. That's what I used to do before I even got an IM. I firmly believe that there's a software solution to most problems. Mm-hmm. So I created a software that allowed me to create graphics for posting into Facebook. And if you actually want, I can go ahead and show you that.
Yeah, go ahead. Grab the screen there.
Let me share my screen. It should be coming through in a second here.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, so this is my Image Maker Pro software, and it's specifically designed. You can make any kind of image you want with it. You can make banners. I actually have banners on my blog that I made with Image Maker Pro too, but it's specifically designed with the intent of making posts for Facebook. So if you actually go up here, you can go ahead. And what I did was I hired my graphics designer to make me a whole bunch of templates, so that way all I need to do is change the templates. I don't have to keep over again.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, you were a part of the Viral Loop launch with Cindy, right?
Yes, certainly was. I was going to say that looks really familiar.
Yeah, so you might actually see this. Look, I stole your
Hey,
your
that's
logo. I
okay.
hope you don't mind.
Okay.
But if you actually go here, you can see here. I'll go ahead and load up a template. This is actually based on one of the templates that the graphics designer that I hired to make all these templates use. Let me see if I can find this template. There's so many of them here.
Nice.
It's in here somewhere. Maybe, oh, there it is. Yeah. See, there's actually the template that I
Oh
used.
yeah. Yeah.
And
Okay.
what I did was I used the drag and drop system. So it's completely drag and drop. So you can move everything around, you can resize it, you can adjust it. I mean, everything you would expect in a drag and drop system. And all I had to do was go ahead and grab your logo that I had downloaded from your website.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Hey, that's fine by me, man.
And I used your logo and I changed the template. And then I can go ahead and make my image post. And what I
Nice.
do then is I add these images into my posts, right? Now that was good. So I was like, okay, now I got these images. They look great. I look professional, because that's a big thing too. You need to look professional. Like, you can go ahead and get like a paint program, and you can make a black background or maybe some kind of crappy background and say Viral Loop review or something, and it just looks bad.
Sure.
You don't want to go at your customers looking like an amateur. You got to look good, which is why the templates are here. But after I started getting these graphics, what I was doing is I was posting these graphics to Facebook as part of my post, but I still had the text. The text was still in the link. So there would be the graphic, and then I'd have my description, and then I would have a little bit of text and say, here, click my link, right?
Right.
And that wasn't the greatest. What I really wanted was I wanted to have a system where the entire graphic is clickable. So that way, like, you can see it says, click here to see our tried and true methods. Well, I changed this maybe to say, click here to see my review of Viral Loop or my bonus pack for Viral Loop, right? What I really want, I don't want people to have to look around and find the text to click. I want the whole graphic to be clickable, right?
Okay.
That's the most ideal thing. So what I did was I created another software, and this is also a part of Group Traffic Profits. ImageMaker Pro is a part of it, and the other software that I created is a part of it as well. And what this allows me to do is it allows me to post this graphic to Facebook with a text description, but have the entire graphic be my clickable link.
Okay, and that's important because normally it's in Facebook, when you click a graphic, it just pops it up like a larger version of it, right?
Right. So this is actually my group right here. So normally when you click a graphic, what it does is it just shows you the graphic.
Right.
Well, who cares about that? That's not what you
Yeah.
want. You don't want people to. You don't want to have a graphic that says click here and then say find the link, and then sorry, it's hidden behind this see more link here. I got to find it. Where's the link? What you want is you want your entire graphic to be clickable. So let me go ahead and see if I can find the one for you guys. I don't know if it's out. There you go. There's your post.
Yep.
So with this, it says check. I got my text description. I got my call to action header. The graphic says click here to see Brett's review. You click the entire graphic, and the graphic is all clickable. So it doesn't take much effort to see how it's going. You're going to get much more attention by having this huge clickable graphic inside of people's timelines, as opposed to a small link that may even be hidden under the see more part.
Absolutely. Yes. No, that's yeah. I don't think most people realize really the power of that. I mean, I can't tell you how many times, and I'm on Facebook all the time, right? I mean, I don't want to be, but I am. Clicking I always click the image, and again, it just pops that, the larger, the blow up image of this, and it's just frustrating. It actually just irritates me more than anything. But of course, I continue to do it.
Yeah. So I made a system where people can actually click on the entire graphic, and if we actually go up here, let me see if I can find your post. Let me see here. I got a whole bunch of them. I use this a lot, so you can see I actually use my tools. There's yours right there. This is my thing for your review. So I got 537 people to click that graphic. Now 537 clicks, that is a lot of clicks. People get 400 or 500 clicks from email lists with 5,000 to 6,000, 7,000, on their email list, and they'll get 400 or 500 clicks.
Right.
Getting 537 clicks. This is without an email list. This is without, asking a single person for their email address, no autoresponder, just using Facebook groups, the methods that I use to build up my group, to build trust with the group, and then combining that with my software to make a professional clickable graphic.
Huh. That's slick, man. It's so funny. As Brett said, he was a software developer before he got in IM Space, as was I. I love watching innovation. Just it's the simplest things. You know what I mean? I mean, it's such a simple thing, but the power behind it is, immeasurable.
Yeah, and if you actually look at these, I mean, you can see I've been using this for a while. I've been doing this for a while now. I've actually made more posts than this. I just stopped. I usually would delete them if I was going to do a promo or do a special offer or something. I would delete it so I wouldn't have to see it in my dashboard. But I've been saving them for the last month or so people can actually to see honestly. So I know I'm going to need it for interviews. So
Yeah.
I'm going to need to show the results, and you can actually see here, like on the low end. Really low. This was the lowest one I've ever got. The lowest results was 124 clicks, and that was when I was giving a bonus away for a product that I was reviewing, and I posted that 6 hours before I took it away. I only allowed that up for 6 hours. So in 6 hours, I got 124 clicks. But when I'm doing generally a real promo, like an affiliate promo, you can see I get 300, 400, 500 clicks very regularly from that Facebook group. This is completely free traffic. I'm not doing anything for it. It doesn't cost me anything to build it up. It doesn't cost me anything. I can post all day long if I wanted to.
Sure. Absolutely. Wow. Yeah, that is some good stuff, my friend. I mean, that's you hit it on the head there. And it's unique too. Really, I've never. I see these groups, these Facebook groups, where kind of the company. It's more of a company group, kind of like what you're doing, and have some success on it. A lot of them I'm finding are really just like software related groups. So it's, one little piece of software, from some company has a little group, and it really just turns into a support desk, I think, at that point, which to me is not very, very useful. But as a company, as a brand, a full brand, the umbrella brand, can be really powerful, and in engaging, and providing a lot of value. So, I mean, it's fantastic, man. You did a great job with all of it.
The groups, honestly, are something that is totally not used as much as it should be. They really aren't. I mean,
yeah, I totally agree, man. I mean, and it needs to start getting used. And after this training, people are going to start using it. So tell me, when does this become live? When can people get their hands on it?
It is. It's going live December 2nd. Yep. So you know that you were a software developer, so you understand the beta testing cycle.
Absolutely.
I had been using the Image Maker Pro software on my own for all year. I've been using this for most of the year now, but I wanted to have at least 3 months of beta testing cycle before I went live. So our beta testing cycle is actually going to end in the middle of this month, and that will give me a little bit of time to make sure everything's okay before I give away that software.
Awesome. Cool. Well, anything else you want to mention about the launch, about the software, about the training? Anything else you want to throw in?
No, I think we covered everything, unless there's anything you want a clarification on, or.
No, I think very straightforward, very powerful stuff. So look, guys, December 2nd is when you're going to be able to get your hands on this. Brett goes through it in a very unique way and shows you from beginning to end how to, just even the beginning of creating groups and how you should set them up, all the way into, getting more and more people to join that group and share that group out. It's pretty powerful stuff. So go ahead and take a look below on this page. You'll see a link that'll get you over to that page. So you can go ahead and pick up your copy. Thanks so much, Brett. I appreciate it. I know you're a busy guy. Aren't we all, right?
Yeah, I keep trying to get 30 hours into the day, Keith, and it keeps not working.
I tell you, man, and I got a 6-year-old, so it makes it even harder. I got to go get her in about a half an hour. So that's the end of my day. All right, Brett. Well, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And go ahead, guys, and pick up your copy. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Keith.
You bet.